Hi, morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to speak at this forum. My name is Mohan Ponnada. I'm the founder and CEO of DeCharge. And what we do is that we build decentralized charging infrastructure. That's where we come in. And I'm glad to see you all again. I think we've met at different forums, and I'm glad I'm having a forum to talk here. So. The difference between we have very strong conviction that DePIN is going to be the next frontier, especially when connecting with the cryptocurrencies with the users on the ground. I think that's where it basically touches ground. If you look at it, cryptocurrencies are mostly an abstract form for a lot of people, right? They look at tokens, they look at currencies, they look at DeFi. But DePIN is something that is actually physical. It's not abstract, and people can actually see it. And what we do, and maybe I take a step back and give you an example, right? If you look at traditional the combustion vehicles that we used to drive, the gas stations took about 40 years to get to where they are today with the distribution that they have to facilitate filling up gas for all the cars. But if you look at the electric revolution, we do not have that kind of time bandwidth. We don't have 20 years to stretch to build that infrastructure, right? And that is where we think we're convinced that DePIN is going to be the next generation of infrastructure building because it allows decentralized ownership and community ownership of infrastructure. And to that effect, it has been very successful effect for us also. We've been able to deploy across multiple countries in Southeast Asia, Central Asia, India, United States, and even Europe, because of this principle. Because you're looking at this ecosystem where it's not just centralized and not having some big tech somewhere having all the ownership, but through DePIN, what we do is we allow the revenues and the money to flow into the wallets of the people who are part of building the ecosystem itself. And on this topic, we had some very interesting conversations listening with SEC, and they are very positive about the aspect of DePIN when it comes to implementations, because they also believe, if structured properly with the right legal teams and in the right language, they may not be considered as a security, and they will be considered as a utility because they're actually helping the common, the growth of the economy itself. The example that I want to quote here is, let's say that we have the communities here, let's take a community in Maryland that wants to deploy decentralized charging infrastructure, and because that's a real revenue, because the cost per kilowatt hour is about, let's say, 15 cents maximum, but the charge per kilowatt hour is about 45, 50 cents. When you charge your Tesla, you know how much you're paying, right? That's actual revenue that people are willing to pay for the premium as a service, right? And on top of that, this money is going back into the community, the revenue. So actually a real revenue layer. But what happens if the community does not have the financial bandwidth to invest in the infra? So that's where this decentralized private infrastructure networks come in, because then we can have a set of participants, let's say from another part of the world or another part of the same country, to say, okay, I'm going to invest $100,000 into a pool to support this infra, and then I will take a part of the yield. Right? So now it's not so difficult because you have communities helping each other, countries growing vertically and horizontally because you're building micro-economies around microgrids. So for us, we are very, very bullish on DePIN. We believe that it is going to be the next generation of infrastructure building. It's already started, whether it's about getting on the bandwagon. And yeah, I think it's about structuring it perfectly without having. The advice that we received from SEC, I think it will help this podium, is as long as we're able to have a very good write-up of terminology that's within the framework of SEC, then it can be put on the no action task force, which means that it will not be considered a security. So that might be a very good starting point for other DePIN businesses. Very quick one minute pitch about DeCharge is we build decentralized charging infrastructure. We have deployed close to 700 plus chargers right now, and we are located in multiple jurisdictions. We work in an Airbnb model where anyone who has space, it could be a garage, it could be a parking space, it could be whatever, a mom and pop store, they can host a charger and participate in the network economy. So I'm happy to take questions if it's open. Otherwise, thank you for the opportunity, and it was great speaking with you all. Thank you very much.